Welcome to the Local Music Guild Workshop, everybody. This is Ben Gardner coming from you from the OrlandoBands.com studio here live in Orlando, Florida. So we appreciate you guys tuning in again and joining us. We've got a really great show happening tonight, so stick around. We've also got some follow-up entertainment that's going to be kicking off about 6:15 with Gail, so stick around for that as well. And as I said, we're in the OrlandoBands.com studio. If you guys are in the Central Florida area here and looking for a place to rehearse or record or photography or video work or any of your needs, definitely hit us up. It's a really great room and a great space, and so yeah. I'm joined today by our excellent co-host, Mr. Cody Williams. Yay!
Hello, everybody.
How's your weekend going there, Cody?
Oh, it's going great. Having a fantastic weekend.
Right on, as you should. I know lots of Halloween stuff happening, throughout this weekend and stuff. You know, people are running around and getting crazy and spooky and all that kind of stuff. So, lots of fun. We also have a really great musical guest with us today as well, too. We have Old Man Crunchy. He's going to be joining us in just a little bit. And he's got a song that he actually performed for us called All I Know Is Hitting the Road. So we got that to look forward to. So lots of surprises there and lots of fun. Also, our topic today is the ultimate gig bag checklist. So Cody and I have been talking about that a little bit and the do's and don'ts of what to take with you on shows, things that you don't want to forget that are vital to the success of your event. So stick around for that. There's a lot of really cool surprises in that as well too. Things you wouldn't even think of that you would need. So how's things going over there, Cody? I know we've got some stuff on the calendar coming up, too. Do you want to tell us what all we have on the OrlandoBands.com calendar and for Local Music Guild as well?
Absolutely. We've got a lot of great events coming up. Tonight, in fact, after this workshop, we're going to have another LMG live with Gail.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a great time.
That's at 6:15. We're gonna start that out. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So if you guys haven't seen Gail, or if you're a big fan, definitely stick around for it because she does an amazing job. A really great performer.
We also have a couple more events. This Tuesday, we will have our weekly open mic night at the Copper Rocket in Maitland, featuring the Barflies.
Yeah, that's right. Oh wait, are they? Yeah, they are this week, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be this week, the 23rd, this Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we have another open mic night at the Copper Rocket in Maitland, featuring Bill Olvey.
Yeah,
Bill Olvey.
Bill. He's one of the regulars too, so he's always a great guy to catch out there. There's a lot of really great guys that come out there and play every week, so yeah, it's always a blast. So yeah, if you guys are in the area, definitely come out. You got to get out there early. Sign-ups usually sign-ups start at 8, but you want to kind of get there a little bit earlier because it does tend to stack up quite a bit.
It fills up pretty quickly, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But yeah, what else we got going?
Well, November 10th, we will be having our second Saturdays in Sanford at the West End Trading Company in Sanford, Florida.
Beautiful downtown Sanford, Florida.
Absolutely. Great venue, great music every time.
For sure.
Second Saturdays is always a good time.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite shows to do for sure. We get a lot of really great musicians out there, and the venue is absolutely accommodating. We love working out there. J-Bone, the sound guy out there, always does a fantastic job. So we love them. We love them.
A little bit later than that, about a week after that, November 17th, we're going to have a pretty cool festival, the Tom and Dan Bad at Business Beer Fest.
Yeah.
And I remember I believe they did that last year.
Yeah, and I don't remember if it was called the same thing, but we've done it with them for I don't know how many years now. They do a fantastic job. It's downtown, well, kind of downtown, over by the West End. Shut down, I think this year they're shutting down 4 of the blocks there and making a big area for it. So lots of beer vendors, beer tasting. If you're into beer, it's the place to go to get lots of samples and try out all sorts of different local vendors and more, so
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's a blast. We'll have one of our stages out there as well too, so look for the OrlandoBands.com stage, and we've got some live music happening over that weekend as well, so it's gonna be a blast. And then the next day we have Sofas and Suds, right?
Sofas and Suds the next day. And by the way, I just want to point out the Sanford area is very, very, very pet friendly. If you have a dog or multiple dogs, bring them on out. There's
or
probably going
lizards.
to be, or lizards.
I see
iguanas on leashes.
Yeah, everybody's lizards always get loose down here. I see them running around all the time. Somebody's lost a lizard.
Has lost my lizard.
Leaping lizards.
Yeah, but those two events are going to be awesome. The Tom and Dan Bad at Business Beer Fest, November 17th, and then the Sofa and Suds, November 18th. The Sofa and Suds
that's a fun one.
Is really fun.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of teams of people that put together these makeshift little sofas on wheels. And they race them around, and they have a little competition, and it's super fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. They even have like the solo sofas, the recliners,
the lazy boys, yeah.
So yeah, it is. It's always a blast. So yeah, definitely come out for that one too. And it's a free event. They just shut down the street there, and bring the kids out. It's kid friendly and all that kind of stuff too. So yeah,
absolutely. And then we have one more event. This is a little bit later on, down in December 15th. We are going to be having our second annual Sanford Jingle Jam.
Yay!
Which is, I guess, Christmas themed.
Yes.
Jingle Jam.
Presented by Wayne Dinch and many other really great sponsors and stuff too. Definitely, you can go right on our website, orlandobands.com, and find the calendar from there. I know we don't have all of those dates posted on the Local Music Guild calendar, but orlandobands.com, it's there. The Local Music Guild just has Local Music Guild stuff going on, which we got a lot of really great live streams and shows and stuff happening that we're planning for the fall for you guys too. And if you guys are interested in any of that, definitely hit us up. You can totally come and be a guest on the show, so we encourage it. So just go to localmusicguild.com, and you can find our contact information there. Let us know that you're interested. And we're still working on some of the formulas for these live streams, so we're looking for all sorts of local bands, regional touring acts, things like that. So it's going to keep expanding. And of course, don't forget to go to our Facebook page, Local Music Guild. Support us there. And on YouTube. So we don't have everything up on YouTube just yet as far as our archive, but we are going to be archiving up the live streams and things like that, not only on Facebook but on YouTube as well. So you can just search for Local Music Guild and find us right on the old YouTubes, and follow us. So we appreciate your guys' support if you subscribe, and that way we can keep you posted on all sorts of upcoming things and past episodes and stuff like that. So yeah. So beyond that, we got some people in the chat room happening on watching us live. Is there anybody out there? What's happening, Cody? We got any shout outs to make here yet?
Yeah, we got a couple people that are already tuning in, which is super awesome. Looks like we got Ricky Melendy.
Oh, I love Ricky.
Ricky. Hello, Ricky. Welcome. We've also got Evan Mitchell.
Hey, Evan.
Evan. Hey, Evan. How's it going? As well as Robert Edwards.
Hey,
hello.
Rob.
How's it going, Rob?
We got a few people coming in. That's great. That's fantastic. Well, definitely stick around, guys. We've got a really great show for you today. And, so we're going to get... let's go ahead and introduce our musical guests. So we had Old Man Crunchy in here a few weeks ago. Some of you guys, I'm sure, might have caught the Local Music Guild live performance of him playing here. And he did a really, really great job. He also was on our recent Second Saturdays out at the West End Trading Company. He performed there as well, too. And... always a pleasure to work with him. So, Old Man Crunchy, this is his song titled All I Know Is Hitting the Road. So, let's give her a listen.
Sell that which is free. Oh, the tale, the American dream. What I pursue don't satisfy you, 'cause nothing's ever free. Oh my God, it's a way of life. Paying dues to the name subscribe. 1,500 is all I need to eat my food and have a place to sleep. So give me fans, oh give me friends, I can play that old song again. I don't know what's on the radio, all I know is in the road. There's no room in any place where people can go right out of the way to try to find what people don't find, but the couch seems pretty safe. 30 minutes is a really long time. Some people say it's a really long drive. Well, my friends, I've been far and wide, and it ain't what you had in mind. So give me fans, oh give me friends, I can play that old song again. I don't know what's on the radio, all I know is in the road. Just any old geek right off the street. That's no joke, used to work IT. Burning time is 4:25 and the bar is where I drink. Jesus Christ, it's a way of life, playing those tunes where I don't make a dime. 1,500 is all I need so I can eat my food and have a place to sleep. So give me fans, oh give me friends, I can play that old song again. I don't know what's on the radio, all I know is in the road. I don't know what's on the radio, all I know is in the road.
All right, that was Old Man Crunchy with his song "All I Know Is Hitting the Road."
Oh yeah!
So fantastic. We were so glad to have you in the studio there, Mr.
Thank
Old
you,
Man
man.
Crunchy. So,
Appreciate it.
welcome back.
Right on.
Yeah, bud. So coming in here, I think we did about 40 minutes or thereabouts when you came in here into the studio and did our live stream, and it was all original stuff.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. So
Yeah, it
we're
was
gonna
fun.
turn it over here to Mr. Cody Williams. He's gonna ask you some questions,
Oh,
if you
man.
don't mind.
I'm
A
getting
little
interrogated.
interview. Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
Good,
Sir?
man. How about you?
I'm fantastic. I got a couple questions for you today,
Sounds
so
good.
let's go ahead and get started.
Right on.
Everybody's wondering, what is the meaning
All the
behind the
kids wanna
name
know.
Old Man Crunchy?
Old Man Crunchy. Well, when I was in the military, I was doing a little bit of backlifting or whatever type of work. So, I'm usually crunching my back a little bit. So that's where it got inspired. My girlfriend kind of came up with that. I decided to do the old man thing because I like the old school traditional type of things. You know what I'm saying? Everything,
yeah.
old school,
Old school.
right?
I get that. I
No
get that.
school like the old school.
Exactly.
So, what inspired you to start making music?
It was a long time ago. I used to live in Germany. My brother had an acoustic guitar, and he would play around with it a lot. And I think that was the first time that I really got exposed to guitar and stuff like that. But I think what really made me want to keep doing it was just all these bands that were coming out with. I wanted to have something cool to do. Everybody else was doing cooler stuff than me, so I was like, I could at least try and play music.
Everybody wants to be a musician.
Yeah, right.
So, I gave a quick listen to your latest album, Bearings.
Yeah.
And I am wondering, where did you record that?
I recorded that in my apartment. Well, there was a couple songs. I was recording it in my buddy Tony's trailer. It was
Hey, Tony.
yeah, Tony, Falcon Tony, right?
Hey,
Guy.
Tony.
Yeah, he's over in Hawaii right now dealing with volcanoes or something. I don't know. He's having fun. But
if Tony's watching this,
yeah, if
we
Tony's
miss you
watching
in
this,
Orlando, bud.
I hope he is.
Come back and visit us and bring that banjo.
Yeah, definitely.
With
Oh
you.
man, he's got a bunch of great songs. But let's see. When I was hanging out in the trailer with him, and then I recorded what was that song? Oh, What's Going On. I recorded What's Going On, inside of the trailer, and I wanted to get that whole trailer sound. We were trying to build a recording studio out of that whole thing. It actually worked out pretty decent. So if you guys want to listen to that song on the album, it sounds pretty cool. The rest of it was in my apartment.
Well, that's good. That's good. I think you got a pretty good sound from that.
Thanks.
I was listening to one of the songs from your new album, Bearings.
Okay.
All I Know Is Hitting the Road.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a skateboard. There's a skateboard in it that you use to make sounds.
Yeah.
You don't ride the skateboard, but you use it to make sounds.
I do ride the skateboard. Not recently, because I screwed up my ankle, like skating behind some building or whatever, but yeah.
What inspired you to use a skateboard as a musical instrument in that song?
There was a couple things. One, it was an aesthetic type of thing, because music-wise, I'm trying to delve into my roots, and so skateboarding was like the biggest part of my childhood, and so I was like, hey, I can incorporate that, but somehow, at least for the cover or whatever. But I wanted to do the skateboard sounds partially because I didn't exactly have drums. So I was like, hey, that would be kind of cool.
Let me just beat on my skateboard a little bit here.
I just kind of did a couple things and,
Take the
whatever. Yeah, that's what I did. I even put my foot on the grip tape and everything just to get that sliding sound. You could probably hear it in there too.
Yeah, rubbing two skateboards together and getting.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
What is your most memorable experience about recording Bearings?
Probably the trip that I had over to California. It was I was working on a tree farm over in California for about a month. We'll call it a tree farm.
Yeah.
It was parked the trailer. Yeah, right.
The kids are watching.
I know. That's there's Christmas trees, grapes. They got the vineyards over there too. But anyway, yeah, there's we're parked right there on the plot and everything, and just the whole trip, I don't know too much about Floridians, but it doesn't seem like too many travel around a lot. And so going all the way across this country, that got a big inspiration on the last track of the album, Thanks for Coming. It's basically my Get Out of Florida song, go see stuff.
You go, yeah.
But I think that was the biggest thing about it. A lot of memories.
Cool.
A lot of memories.
That sounds good. What was the biggest challenge for you as a musician since you started?
Since I started?
From
doing
the
this interview.
Yeah, doing this interview. Everything else is
right
cake,
here.
man. No. I think it's just writing the songs. Maybe, actually, I would say probably just being able to perform them, because when you're a solo act and stuff, it's hard getting your own shows booked and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't really have a team. You are your own team, but sometimes you got some friends that could help you out, so
Man,
it helps.
That booking agency infrastructure just isn't what it used to be.
Yeah, it's not.
No, man, yeah.
But that's pretty much it. Yeah, just being
Cool.
able to get those gigs booked.
You got to book those gigs.
Yeah.
What is something that you have learned along the way that could benefit other artists?
Benefit other artists. It's probably cliche, but just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep writing music. Know that your music isn't good enough, so keep writing better music. Just don't hate yourself for it, but just keep writing better music, because eventually and make it from the heart, If you can. I don't know how many people don't have hearts, but if you can write it, then try and write it. But yeah, I think that's it.
Absolutely. That was one thing I noticed. That's off topic, but anyways, it's off topic. We won't go there.
Cody's like, I noticed you have no heart, old man Crunchy. Where is your heart?
Yes, I do.
This is the music industry. We don't need hearts.
Yeah.
Briefly tell us about endorsements, labels, support, either financial or emotional, that you'd like to acknowledge. Anybody that you have on your side.
On my side, let's see. There's only one thing in particular. I don't remember what thing he's starting, but his name is Travis Bliven. If you guys or whoever can look him up on Facebook, he's a good veteran buddy of mine. He's trying to start something for other vets to, prevent, not prevent depression, but like suicides and stuff. There's like a big thing with the vets being all depressed and stuff. You know,
Yeah,
we don't
certainly.
really need it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
he's
both of you guys were the service.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's definitely something I'm sure you can identify with, maybe not personally, but with other people that you know, buddies and stuff like that.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, he's definitely doing something good with it. He was talking to me about it a little bit a while ago, but he actually started pushing it. So I hope it does well.
Yeah,
honestly.
for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Could you tell us more about the lyrics to the song "All I Know Is Hitting the Road"? Hitting the road.
All right, hold on. I gotta go through to my head
Don't
really
skip the
quick.
G.
Yeah.
Don't skip the G. It's not hitting.
Hitting.
It's hitting.
It's hitting
All I know
the
is
road.
hitting the road.
Well, with the title, it I got driver brain. I love being on the road so much. I love traveling around all even when I was in the military. Going over to England and stuff like that. I've been everywhere over here except the north and the east coast and stuff. But let's see the lyrics. The lyrics, I would say, it was probably with all this social media and this YouTube stuff, everybody's got I gotta have the biggest fan base, whatever, and so that's where give me fans or give me friends, because I would prefer to have friends over fans any day, but I would like to have all my fans be my friends.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Yeah.
And
Good way to look at it.
There's a lot of truth to that too, because like we were talking about with the infrastructure stuff is just not there. So DIY is really one friend at a time.
Seriously.
And I always tell bands, you don't really have fans. You get fans when all your friends are bringing people that you've never met in your entire life, and those people are also screaming, for you.
Yeah.
But that's when you have fans. But if you know their name, no, that's your buddy. That's your friend.
I try and keep it like that, though. Just like have, because you see a lot of these other people, they'll have hundreds of thousands of friends on their Facebooks or whatever. It's like you don't even talk to any of those people. I got maybe like 100 or something. That's all I need.
Yeah. I'd rather have one good friend than
Yeah.
1,000 people I don't talk to.
Exactly.
Oh, you're welcome,
Hands
Cody.
down.
Well,
Yeah.
I
You're
wasn't
welcome.
talking about you.
I got two right here. That's it. That's like half my Facebook right there.
So, tell us about your upcoming events/shows. Do you have anything coming up?
I don't have anything personally coming up show-wise. I'm still trying to find some gigs booked. Maybe on the second Saturdays
Sure.
sometime
Well, I
in
know
the
you
future.
were talking about going back out the West Coast.
Yeah.
And pursuing some stuff out that way.
Yeah.
But kind of in transition right now. I'm not
Yeah.
sure exactly where you're going to land. So.
I don't know what's going to be happening
Yeah.
in the next 2 to 8 months to a year. I don't even know what's going to happen, but I plan on moving over to California sometime and getting some gigs booked over there, but I'll let everybody know whenever that stuff happens.
So, we can go ahead on a limb and say, if you're in the Orlando area, this is your chance to see Old Man Crunchy perform live.
Exactly.
You might not be here forever.
I'm not going to be here forever. This place is too hot. I like the West. There's no bugs over there. Jeez.
Yeah.
The bugs.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's about all we have.
Cool.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
Not off the top of my head. I appreciate you guys letting me
bud.
come down and everything,
Absolutely.
perform for you and everything. It's been awesome.
No, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's always good working with you, man.
Right
It's always
on.
easy going. The music's great.
I love you guys.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Best part of Florida, right here.
Yeah, man. Well, stay where you are. We're gonna go back here, and we got our topic coming up. We're gonna do the
Okay.
ultimate gig bag checklist, and I
The
definitely
gig
want you
bag
guys to
checklist.
chime in on this because, I this is kind of a weird one. It's not something that we get asked about by any means all the time or anything like that, but it's one that's kind of important because. Putting on shows and festivals and things like that, I do find where bands don't really know about these things. And some of this stuff can really save your gig, So, so I'm just going to go through some of this stuff here, and I think there'll be some surprises for you guys on what we discover. So, I mean, you guys obviously carry some kind of a gig bag, Cody, when you're playing drums for Devil's Target, and then Mr. Old Man Crunchy, when you're out and about, you've got to have something that you,
Oh, yeah.
A first aid
time.
kit of sorts.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Every time.
What would you guys say would be the number one item that you carry with you when you're out, gigging around?
Tape.
Tape?
Number one is tape.
What do you
Tape
use
can
tape
fix
for?
anything.
That was
Tape
fast.
can fix anything.
Tape can fix anything.
Even in cars, it could add 5 to 15 horsepower
And-
on a
and
good day,
Flammability to the car.
Yeah.
One duct
Oh,
tape
tape's on
stripe.
fire.
down the whole thing. It'll make it go a lot faster.
Tape.
The chicks dig my racing strap.
I don't think I've ever used tape during a gig, like once.
Really?
Yeah, I've never used tape. Like I could see that with the set list. You could probably tape it on the ground, but I just put it underneath the mic stand or
The
something.
difference between the drummer and the
right, yeah.
Because I have
Stupid
so many
guitarist.
parts. There's so many parts to a drum kit. If
That's
one little
true.
thing falls off and goes missing, you're
Yeah.
All right. For instance, the leg on my my kick.
Yeah.
It just falls out. Like every time
Oh,
I go to a
man.
gig, I'll get the whole kit back to the house, and I'm missing another part. And it's like, well, if I get to the gig and I'm missing that part, I need tape.
Yeah, you're out.
Because I can find anything and jam it in there
Yeah.
and tape it up, and it'll work.
That's true.
So
That's true.
Yeah, I've learned that drums have a lot more pieces to them than you would ever even imagine. You know,
Absolutely.
It's like,
Oh, man.
I find stuff in the studio here every once in a while that I think came off of that kit. I assume, and I go, where does it go? I don't know. It still works.
Goes to your
It's-
car.
Yeah. I'll find out later. We'll figure it out later. Well, some of the things we had down here for you guys. When you're out traveling, especially when you're touring, your transportation's a big thing, right?
Yes.
So, AAA is fantastic because, they offer a lot of great services, the roadside assistance, if you run out of gas, things like that. So, AAA card or some kind of roadside assistance service is always a must, especially if you're doing long distances, highly suggest something like that, keep you safe. And then batteries. Ooh, batteries.
Always.
I've done so many shows where I've had guys, where they're plugging in their acoustic guitar and the battery is dead and they're getting nothing out of it, or
Man.
it slowly dies while they're performing,
Yeah.
so that's always fun. And not just having those, but switching them out, especially if you guys are using wireless systems. The rule on wireless systems to me is go and buy rechargeable batteries. They've come a long way.
Yes, they have.
The AA, rechargeable batteries and stuff, and totally use them. Switch them out every gig, new batteries. Either
Definitely.
brand new, and you don't like doing that because it is a little wasteful. Then at least go for the rechargeable route.
Yeah.
Obviously your ID, but I have heard horror stories about people leaving
The
behind.
ID?
Yeah.
What?
I've heard horror stories about people leaving behind their passports and stuff when they're trying to go up to Canada to play gigs and stuff like that.
jeez.
So you always want to kind of double check that kind of stuff. Phone numbers of a friend in the city you're traveling to.
Helpful.
It's good to have people that because anything could happen, and you might need
Anything.
a runner, or you might need them to come to your show and attend it. So give them a call, or a place to stay, or some food.
Or some food. Food is
a place
always
to
helpful.
stay. Maybe not even just a place to stay. Maybe even just a place to shower.
Yeah.
Because
there you go.
I'm in a metal
Yes.
band, and I can just
Yes.
go ahead and say this: there are some metal bands who tour without showers.
Wet wipes. Wet wipes help temporarily.
Yeah, there you go.
and I think that might get touched up on as well. I think that actually might be on the list.
Yeah, I don't.
But-
We'll see if I run into it. I don't. It might be on here. You're
Well,
right. It might be on
if it's not, it is now.
yeah.
Find a shower or some wet wipes.
Cash is king, of course, but a lot of people depend on cards, but anything can happen to that card, especially when
Oh,
you're carrying
yeah.
around speakers. A lot of people don't know this, but there are gigantic magnets inside of those speaker cabinets, and they're not the same as like your studio speakers that are possibly shielded. So if you happen to get too close to one of those giant speakers, set your wallet down on top of it, whatever, it can actually erase all the data, that mag strip that's on your credit card, and actually make it completely worthless. Now I know they have the chips are a big deal now, So,
Yeah.
but just something to be aware of, So cash is always good to have as a backup plan. Altoids, Tylenol.
Altoids,
just
Tylenol.
just things that give you heartburn. Be drinking a lot of beer, but it's just stuff like that, Gas X if you're up on stage belching like crazy.
Oh.
Pepto.
Yeah. So a little first aid kit of sorts. Band-Aids go a long way too. I mean,
Band-Aids.
I get asked for Band-Aids a lot at shows. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I have people that nick their fingers and lose limbs and no,
What the heck?
but yeah, we do get asked for Band-Aids a lot, and some venues will have a little first aid kit,
Oh.
some of them don't. So
You hear all these things?
I hear all these things.
Wow.
Yeah, all the time. I had, and this is obviously an extreme case of bandages. We had an intern one time put on a show, and one of the guys, it wasn't here in Orlando, somewhere else, but one of the guys in the show, I guess they had a glass mirror, and the guy went up against the glass mirror and just cut up his hand real bad, So, just first aid kit, it's like
you're never gonna believe this.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Things happen, man. Especially when you're in metal bands, you got a mosh pit going, So.
Oh yeah, that guy gets elbowed in the eye. Oh,
yeah, man. Yep. Here's one that I do. Okay, so hand sanitizer is huge. I use hand sanitizer pretty often. When I do shows, I do hand sanitizer at least after the event. I keep it in my truck and keep it on me. And I have absolutely noticed a huge difference on how often I get sick with it. It actually cuts it down. You got to figure people are, carrying all sorts of stuff around with them,
I just pick my
cold
nose.
bugs and things like that. Exactly,
scratching the old booty.
Yeah. So hand sanitizer, man, and don't just use it on your hands. Use it on your equipment. You can use it on your steering wheel. You can use it, all sorts of stuff. The other thing I've heard, another trick from people doing, especially on tour, is they'll Lysol bomb their car anytime that they're going anywhere. So, we're all going to go into this restaurant and eat, can of Lysol, just hose out the van. Because, you get 4 or 5 dudes in a van.
Oh, sweating.
Yeah, it can get pretty gnarly.
Oh, man.
Lysol bomb it and just get rid of it. Especially, if you're out on tour, it can really shut you down if your singer, gets a bit of a cough or something going and, all of a sudden they're sick. So you want to try to kill them germs before they become a problem,
Absolutely.
The other another thing you could do is sweat-proof sunscreen and lip balm, especially on outdoor gigs. We do a lot of festivals in the spring and in the fall, especially here in Florida, because it's great weather for it, and it gets hot, and sunburns and all that kind of stuff. We found also if you're ever going to buy a tent, for your merch booth area and things like that to participate on some of these festivals and stuff, they have tents that the top lining is UV reflectant, where it costs a little bit more than an average one. You can go to your close big box store and buy a tent, a 10 by 10 or whatever, but it may not have that. So you want to look into that, make sure it has that UV protection, especially down here, because you're not only going to get those rays from above just cutting right through that fabric, but you're going to get them off the sidewalk and reflection and stuff. So
windows.
It doesn't feel like you're in the sun, but you still get sunburned, So
that's crazy.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're by the beach, the sunlight reflecting off the water and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And getting a tent that has that option for those walls that come down, that's nice too. Especially if you get a little rain or whatever, and that way you don't have to pack everything up. Tarps are good for that kind of stuff. We carry tarps anytime we do an outdoor gig. We carry at least a half a dozen very large tarps just to throw over everything immediately, Condoms.
Hey man, there's kids.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's got to be said, man.
That's true, man.
It's got to be said.
Don't mess around with it. So, grooming items, including deodorant. Use deodorant.
Please, please use deodorant.
Yeah. Toothbrush, or at least some kind of mouthwash. I've seen guys do that. Where it's before or after your gig. I've seen those hand sanitizing wipes too. I've seen people use them on microphones.
Yeah.
Especially if you're sharing the mic with the other bands. You're not necessarily bringing your own mic. Just real quick on that, if you do end up bringing your own mic, whether it's wired, wireless, whatever, try to match what most venues have. Shure 58, a Beta 58, or maybe one of the Sennheisers or whatever.
Yeah.
But just because usually, coming from the sound guy aspect of it, usually those monitors are pre-rung out, so they get rid of all the gnarly frequencies and stuff that are for that particular microphone. And if you have that same mic, it's less chance that you'll have to encounter feedback problems and things like that, especially on these quick set changes where you only get like 15 minutes or thereirabouts to get your band up and down. The sound guy may not have time to acclimate your mic to the system, and you definitely want to be aware of that with wireless equipment as well too. I've had some people bring I bought my wireless mic for $75. They call it PAL for a reason. No, I'm not gonna trash talk. That could be a sponsor later, you never know. But yeah, man, spend the money, you know, and you know, get the industry standard stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But
Tony likes to use those guards that you have on your mic.
oh yeah, the pop filter.
Yeah, the pop filters.
Yeah.
He always has like a couple of them for whenever you are sharing mics, just for that reason.
Yeah, it really is a good idea. Yeah, and it's also good for you know get
exactly.
Unless you're a beatboxer, and it just ruins your whole game. Not again. Lint rollers, you know, especially if you're doing interview type stuff, you know, you always want to make sure.
Man.
You know,
Oh man.
Oh gee.
Old man Crunchy forgot his
We
lint
didn't
roller.
have lint rollers back in my day.
old
They
man
must be new.
old man crunchy lint. Yeah.
Yeah, hair, Ben.
yeah. We were just talking about that too. Yeah, man. So, you know, especially if you're doing a photo shoot and stuff too, you know, you always want to have some kind of nice rag, you know, that you can use to clean up your instrument stuff, you know, something that's not going to damage the paint or, you know, scratch it or whatever. Yeah. Obviously, you know, one of the microfiber, you know, is key. So, safety pins. Safety pins. Do you know what you can do with a good safety pin?
I don't know. Tell me.
You can poke
A
people with
good
them.
safety pin can get you married.
Turn it into a ring.
Nah, man, I have used safety pins countless times. Cody and I just I experienced this with Cody on a show recently. We were doing the Mai Tai Rumble out in Daytona.
Oh, yeah.
And which is a blast. It's really a fantastic show that we do every year. It's a battle of the bands, but every band gets paid every show, and they have huge prizes, a lot of killer sponsors on the event and all this. Anyway, I'm running around, and the front of my shorts split. So, yeah, I used gaff tape on that one.
Okay.
And, you know, that's why I wear black, because I always carry
Wow.
black gaff tape. But safety pins, I've had lost buttons on my shorts, things like that, you know, in the middle of a gig or whatever, when I'm out and you just button it up, you know. I've even used them to help aid people with guitar straps and things like that. I've used them to actually hold lav mic wires in place, you know, inside garments and things like that. So, yeah, so safety pin here or there, you know, can kind of come in handy. And it can also be used as a defense tool. Back. Get away from me, I've got a safety pin. And it's not safe anymore, it's been unhinged. One bit, this is like, you know, kind of to me an obvious, but maybe not, you know, a lot of techs, you know, carry these types of things, but multi-tool and a flashlight.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you're trying to dig around in the back of the van looking for a piece of equipment or whatnot, you know, or even on stage, you know, flashlights are super, super helpful. Some protein bars or snacks, you know, whatever. But
Trail mix.
Yeah, man. I see a lot of guys, they pound those energy drinks like crazy, and it's like, don't do that. You're going to burn yourself out. But, you know, good substance will make you go a little further, you know, especially on those larger festivals and things like that. And, you know, it's not always good to eat off just food trucks and fast food and stuff like that.
It's expensive to me. Those food trucks?
Yeah.
Wow. I usually stop by a 7-Eleven, get one of those, you know, croissant, which, like, the same, what is sausage? Yeah, sausage and eggs. I love those.
There you go.
I always eat before a gig.
Right on, man. The secret to Old Man Crunchy's success is his breakfast sandwiches.
Sausage and egg. Croissant.
If you're traveling abroad, and even locally, you know, it doesn't really matter, a watch or a travel clock. Because your phone's great, but it doesn't always
live.
Yeah, and the battery may die, things like that. So it's always good to have a backup timepiece, especially if you're in another time zone and you need to know what time it is, where you came from, things like that. It can be very, very helpful and keep you from making a lot of mistakes, you know, like showing up to your gig 3 hours late or early.
You don't look at the sun or the stars or whatever. That's what I do. I'm like, it's roughly about 7:30.
Yeah, there you go. We don't all have the internal clock like you do. Extra guitar. And
extra guitar.
For you, Cody, an extra drum head for your snare. Or even kick drum. You know, kick drum and snare seems to be the ones that people pound through the fastest, I would say, you know, from what my experience seeing,
for sure,
you know, drummers blaze through on their kits, you know. So yeah, just having something like that laying around. I know that's a lot to carry around, and you know, some of this stuff is a lot, you know, but for you guys watching, just take it all in moderation, whatever fits your needs. You don't have to. If you're a guitarist, you don't need a drum head. So
You know how many times my strings broke like in front of you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, anybody? I'm
I've
just gonna keep
counted.
going. Yeah, seriously, another guitar, I could use one.
Yeah, man, it happens. It happens all the time. So having an extra guitar handy to just grab, as opposed to, oh, hang on, give me 3
Yep.
minutes. Unless you've got a really, really good gimmick. I have seen that happen where a guy broke his string and he had a whole nother song that went along with tuning his guitar up and putting on the new string and everything.
Smart.
So yeah, but kind of a plan B. I don't know how on earth he did it so well. It's like he's breaking strings on purpose just to rehearse that.
just to practice
He was
that.
prepared.
Yeah, man. A set list that includes the other band's names that you're performing with and the sponsors.
Yes.
Ooh, how about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I would also go as far as to say any information that the sound guy might need as well.
Yeah. Hey, there you
Yeah.
go. Well, yeah, stage plot diagrams. Those are awesome. As a sound guy, I know when somebody hands me a stage plot diagram, I'm like a kid in a candy shop. Yeah, you thought of me.
You could put all that on a set list.
Well, not
Oh,
on a set
man.
list.
Oh,
Stage
okay.
plot diagram would be separate. So your
Yeah.
stage plot diagram would be something
Yeah.
that you hand to the sound guy.
Yeah.
It basically shows you and your bandmates and what you need. Some of them will
Oh.
even go as far as to show you the percentages of how much of a mix they want in their monitors. I want
Okay.
3% of Joe's vocals. I want 50% of this guy's vocals, or whatever.
That's
And-
pretty technical. Wow.
yeah, but it's a really great tool to forward over in advance, to a sound guy, or just show up with it, before it's time for you to go on. And
I
then,
can see that.
just the sound guy even having an idea who he's working with, with the band name at the top, the name of each person in the band. So instead of
Yeah.
going, stage right guitar, he can say, hey Jed, give me some stage right, give me some of that guitar. And then, it makes the sound check go a little faster. It
Yeah.
makes it feel a little bit personal. And, sound guys usually are just like regular normal human beings, less apt to be lazy if they feel like they're working with somebody that they know. You know what I mean? So
For sure.
if we have a little bit of a friendship happening, blossoming there, I'm going to work a little harder to make sure you sound good. So I've seen bands even go as far as just bringing a guy a slice of pizza. Hey man, you want a piece of pizza?
Wow. I
Yeah,
love a
right.
slice of pizza right now.
Yeah, the trick with the sound guy is you've adapted a new member of the band that night.
Yeah.
So you really got to treat it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
So
They do a lot of work, man.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. It's the lifeblood of the venue.
Yes.
It's the
Yes,
sound
it
man.
is.
If your sound man sucks, the music's gonna suck, and it doesn't matter if you get the best band in there or not. It's just not going to be a good experience. So, a tuner. What's
Please
that
bring
for?
a tuner.
Yeah.
Please bring a tuner.
Yeah, make yourself sound good with extra batteries, backup batteries.
Yep.
There's those little clip-on ones. I don't
The
want to mention any.
snarks.
I wasn't
Snark.
going to say it,
Snark.
but that's okay. Yep. Snark. But yeah, man, they work great. But I've seen those die. The batteries die. They actually last for a very long time. The batteries on those things. I think they're just like little watch batteries or something that are in them. But and they're fantastic. They're killer. I wish I had those when I was out gigging around and stuff. But and a lot of acoustic guitars normally have a tuner built into it.
Yeah.
But if you don't, those things are fantastic. But making sure you have an extra battery to kind of go along with it, because batteries do die. Guitar picks, strings, capos, guitar straps, all that kind of stuff.
Every time.
Carry 2 of each. Might as well.
Yeah.
Gaff tape. There is a difference. There is a difference between the gaff tape.
Gaff tape.
That's the white gaff tape.
This is the white gaff tape, which is a little more less seen. It's usually black, but this is the white one. But there's a huge difference between that and the duct tape or whatever the heck you find at the dollar store.
Yeah.
And I have been in venues on the corporate side that won't even allow tape to be put on their carpets unless it's gaff tape, mainly because of the residue from a lot of cheaper tapes will just peel right into the carpet and just destroy it. It's also, it's a cloth tape, so it's going to hold up better. And then also the adhesive that they use on it, generally, as long as you're buying, a decent brand, is it's not going to just disintegrate. And you can use this on your cables for a short period of time. Of course, after a while, it will get your cables sticky. And in that case, you use Goo Gone. Hey, Goo Gone. Get that stuff off there. That stuff's awesome for getting off. Yeah, it does miracles. Just don't ever spill it on your kitchen floor because it'll be there for 3 or 4 months. But so gaff tape, the right tape, the good stuff. And I know it's expensive. You know, that stuff can be upwards of $20, $25 a roll, even more. So it is expensive, and I get why not everybody goes for it. But it's worth it. And just don't let anybody borrow it. Can I use your duct tape? I'm going to hang up my banner and use up half the roll of your. Just no, that's mine. Sharpie and some paper is important.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have something. You know, especially if you meet somebody, you need to give them your number. You know, I'm a big record label. All right, cool. Here's my number. You know, or even just jotting down ideas last minute. You know, something like that. You know. All sorts of stuff. A ground lift. I don't think I've got one over here. A ground lift. What is a ground lift? A ground lift is basically it's a little adapter that goes on the onto a Edison extension cable or onto whatever you're plugging. It goes takes most of the time you see the 3-prong outlet. So you got a 3-prong that goes in there. If you ever get like weird buzzes or hums in your system, things like that, you could try and attempt to lift the ground, which that's what this does. It's a little adapter that takes away that bottom ground pin and turns it into just the hot and neutral, and you can just plug it into the wall and see if that helps. In most cases, I would say probably about 45% of the time it will get rid of that problem. A lot of venues, a lot of places you're going, even on festivals that are running off generators, things like that, they may not have good power conditioners in line with the power, so you can get some dirty power coming through that's kind of gnarly and it's prone to different kind of hums. They call it the 60 hertz hum, which is a ground fault basically, and so you want to be able to kind of avoid those situations as well too. And if you're using DI boxes, like if you're a bass player or a keyboard player or somebody who requires a DI box, make sure you get one of those DI boxes that has the ground lift function on it, and that'll help you out too on that kind of stuff. Just a little tidbit there. So extra bridge pins if you're playing acoustic. Have you ever, Old Man Crunchy, have you ever had one of your bridge pins break on you?
Gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I've had it happen too.
That's never happened before. It happened one time when I was over in California. That was the biggest reason why I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things that you wouldn't even think about. Yeah.
Never happened.
So just carry like 2 of them. You don't need much.
That's how many I have. I have 2 left.
Yeah.
Extra ones.
Yeah, just get a little Tupperware container, put all these little miscellaneous things in there, you know what I mean? That way you've got it in case it happens. But,
touring junk drawer.
Yeah, exactly. 2 of every cables you need. If you know that you need 2 1/4-inch cable to go from your guitar into whatever, get 2 of them. So that way you've got 2. And most times your sound guy was also, they'll have a few here and there, but most times, not all the time. Yeah, man. So sometimes like, oh, I was supposed to have a PA system here for you. I didn't know.
Oh, man. I thought you were bringing your own PA.
Yeah. You kids always wanting to use my PAs. I'm doing an old man voice because I'm being crunchy.
Yeah, see, old school.
We should do the rest of the interview as old men. And the next thing on our list is, it's so important if I could just remember what the heck it was.
Where's my pager?
Zip ties.
Zip ties.
The infamous zip tie. I have seen zip ties that you can get that actually zip and unzip, reusable zip ties. How about that?
Oh.
Yeah. So
I've actually got zip ties on my kit right now.
That's good.
Well, I don't know if that's good, but
it makes it operable. Operable?
Operable.
I think the word you're looking for is
usable.
Whatever.
Yeah, man. Zip ties are key, man. You can use them to hang up your banners. You can use them to repair drum sets. You can use them to restrain your drummer. If he's getting out of
restrain your drum. Get back over there. We got another guy.
A spare phone charger. I don't know about you guys, but I buy these phone chargers on Amazon. I think they come from China. I'm sure they do.
Probably.
But they break all the time. Just the cable, not the little
right there at the ends.
Yeah,
Yep,
man.
yep.
It's like, so always having a backup and then having a 12-volt option as well so that you can plug it into a vehicle is always a good thing. So, weather ponchos. Hey, I have a really nice weather poncho, and it's fantastic. It's waterproof, and it breathes well, and it's lightweight, and it's compact and portable,
Oh, yeah.
and it's great for festivals and shows where we're outdoors. We might experience some precipitation.
Precipitation.
But I forget to bring it every show. every show it always gets left behind. I always forget about it. But buy one anyway. Support the poncho industry and buy one that you can forget at home too. So yeah, man. But especially on outdoor gigs, umbrellas, obviously, anything to keep you out of the elements, because it does kind of get a little gnarly, like being outside and wet on a festival for 6 hours while you're trying to dry out. And another good tip for those who spend lots of time out there getting sweaty, baby powder. I won't tell you any more than that, but baby powder. That's as far as I'm going with it. But keep your ID, wallet, cash, etc. on you at all times. I'm old school. I wear a chain wallet still. When I was in, I think the 6th grade, I had a wallet, and I had $20 in it. So for 6th grade, think about this: 6th grade. That's a lot of money for a 6th grader.
You know
man.
how much lunch you can buy?
Yeah. That's back then. I was like 4 GI Joes or something, man. That was big. So I was out skating one day and I lost that wallet, and so I went and bought a chain wallet and never looked back. So,
there you go.
Yeah, and I've never lost my wallet since. So that
You just got to have a good set of pants for it too.
Yeah,
because your things will break.
Well, not the one I got.
Yeah, not the ones you got.
Hardcore.
Dickies.
Yeah.
You got the Dickies?
Yes, for my.
There you go.
Yes, and I have. I actually, for my the pants that I wear and stuff out on gigs and stuff. They're like cargo pants, cargo shorts stuff. I actually went to an Army surplus store and bought these really awesome tactical. Pants. Yeah, but they're super thick material. They won't rip, and they're double kneed. Stuff like that. Really, really awesome. I mean, that's like nerding out over something.
No, that's cool.
But
Buff
I swear,
clothes.
Best. I have pants that I bought that are those pants, and I don't remember the name brand on them. I think I've had some of those pants for 10 years, and I've used them on shows some for every day for months. You know what I mean. So that's. Not the same pair, but
wow.
Yeah.
Change your pants,
Whatever.
man.
Change your pants. Your pants are gnarly. That's what I had. That's what I got. That's the ultimate gig bag checklist.
Oh, sounds good
for you guys. So, anything I missed? You guys have any? You want to chime in with anything in there? Anybody on the comments?
Yeah, anybody in the comments?
In the social media world.
We did actually get a suggestion from John Coffey. Business cards, band cards.
Oh
Band
yeah,
cards.
How
That
could
is
I forget
actually super
business
important.
cards?
Yeah, I was talking to him
What's
about it.
wrong
I
with
need more business cards.
Yeah,
I don't have any.
my band, we just ordered a brand new, a whole new design. Actually, we
saw
changed the
it.
design a little bit and got another stack of business cards. So,
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah, and they're great to leave around, and don't ever. I always, when I hand out business cards, most of the time I hand out 2. I never give a person just one because I hope that they have a friend.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Hopefully,
take a couple of these. If anybody that might utilize my services, give them that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right on. Cool.
And make sure the info on that business card
is correct.
Yeah.
And reflects what you want them to know.
Yeah. And if it has to change, go get new cards.
Yeah.
Don't do the whole. Let me scratch that out for you and write my real number on the back and things like that. So
Man, I keep referring to Tony. You know what Tony did? On his business card, he had it was the upright one, so it looks weird.
Oh, sure.
And then he had his thing on the back, and then on the front, and then on the back he had a bunch of lines, so that way you can take notes for them, or they can take notes on it.
Oh, like where I met you.
Yeah, the guy from yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Go.
That is a good
You
idea.
know what? We'll make that the topic for next show. Business
The
card layout.
effectiveness of
I could totally go to town. Business cards and promotional materials. I can go to town.
He's gonna
on that,
sue me, man. Tony's gonna sue me. Getting rid of my ideas.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll fix it in post.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, cool, guys. Well, everybody, we appreciate you guys tuning in to us here today. We've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, to be a guest on our show, definitely visit us at localmusicguild.com. And you can totally find out more information about what we got going on with this project, and orlandobands.com as well, because we are broadcasting from the orlandobands.com studio. Don't forget to find us on Facebook for Local Music Guild, and on our YouTube channel, which again, we're just getting all this started, but we'll be a lot more active as we proceed, and we'll be archiving a lot of our episodes and things like that up there for you guys too. So all right, guys, so thanks again so much for tuning in. We appreciate all the support from our Local Music Guild members out there and sponsors. Thank you guys so much, and we will catch you guys here in just a little bit. Stick around. We're going to be back on at 6:15. We have a Local Music Guild live session featuring Gail, so go get something to eat. Jump back online and find us here in about an hour and 15 minutes.
Hour and 15.
Hour and 15. All right, thanks, guys.